The Oval Office. February 28, 2025, a day that will be etched in the annals of history. President Trump, a man known for his unpredictable nature, was hosting Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Cameras flashed, capturing the initial handshakes. The tension was palpable. Vice President J.D. Vance, a hawk on Russia, stood by Trump's side. His presence was a clear signal. This meeting was going to be different. Zelensky, a wartime leader, had come to Washington with a heavy heart. His nation was bleeding, locked in a brutal war with Russia. He sought increased military aid, a lifeline for his beleaguered people. He hoped for a show of solidarity from the United States, but from the outset the mood was icy, a stark contrast to Zelensky's previous visit in 2019. The initial pleasantries were strained, a thin veil over the simmering tensions. Trump, seated behind the resolute desk, looked impatient. Zelensky, standing stoically, seemed to brace himself for the storm he knew was brewing. Trump, in his signature blunt style, cut to the chase. He slammed his hand on the table. He demanded Zelensky show more gratitude for the billions of dollars in aid the US had provided. He claimed the American people were tired of the war, tired of Ukraine's constant pleas for help. Zelensky, visibly taken aback, tried to respond. He spoke of Russia's aggression, of the Ukrainian people's fight for freedom. He highlighted the shared values of democracy and freedom that bound the two nations, but his words were met with a dismissive wave from Trump. Trump, his voice rising in anger, accused Zelensky of being ungrateful. He claimed Zelensky was gambling with the possibility of World War III. He blamed Ukraine for the conflict. The war, Trump asserted, could have been avoided if Zelensky had just negotiated with Putin. Zelensky, his composure barely intact, retorted that appeasement was not an option. There would be no compromises with a dictator who sought to erase his nation from the map. He reminded Trump that Ukraine was fighting not just for its own survival, but for the principles of democracy itself. And news of the Oval Office confrontation spread like wildfire. Global stock markets tumbled. European leaders expressed deep concern. French President Macron, a staunch ally of Zelensky, immediately reached out to both leaders in an attempt to salvage the situation. In the United States, the political establishment was in an uproar. Democrats condemned Trump's actions, calling them reckless and dangerous. Some Republicans, however, echoed Trump's sentiments. They questioned the wisdom of continued US involvement in the conflict. Senator Josh Hawley, a vocal critic of Ukraine aid, praised Trump for standing up to Zelensky. Social media erupted. #Zelensky and #Trump were trending globally. Opinions were sharply divided. Some praised Trump for his tough stance, while others condemned him for bullying a wartime leader. Amidst the chaos and confusion, one thing was clear. The transatlantic alliance had been shaken to its core. The meeting ended abruptly, with no joint statement or photo opportunity. Zelensky, his face etched with disappointment and anger, was escorted out of the White House. The image of him leaving alone, a solitary figure against the backdrop of global power, spoke volumes. In the aftermath of the confrontation, Trump took to Truth Social, his preferred platform. He accused Zelensky of being disrespectful and unprepared for peace. He hinted that future US aid to Ukraine was now under review. Zelensky, in a dignified response on X, thanked the American people for their support and vowed to continue fighting for his nation's freedom. The Oval Office showdown left the world grappling with uncertainty. The future of US-Ukraine relations hung in the balance. As the dust settled, one question loomed large. Had President Trump, in his bid to make peace, inadvertently brought the world closer to the brink?